Welcome back everyone, I'm Theodore Prestigor, and this is Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. Let's go, Miriam, sorry. Got a new whip. We have some stuff we could probably craft, but for right now I'm just going to go with what we have. I'm going to equip the stone mask, just for appearance's sake. Alright, they're still growing, so I'm going to go and kill the Dulla Hammer. That's good. I believe the Thorn Whip does impact, it does blunt and slashing. Killing what I can just so I can get a little bit of extra material. Also, I just need the experience. Also, while we're here, let's go ahead and go down here. Flail. Attack by using a Dulla Hammer's head as a flail. This one's actually pretty decent. It costs 25, but it has... Oh, I don't have enough to cast it. Now I do. Yeah, so it's essentially like a bigger whip, essentially. So, just grabbing this chest for the corn seeds. The other chest I don't really need at this point. I am gonna go ahead and stick with Gale Crawler, I think, for now. I believe these Dulla Hammers, the blue ones, do not petrify you. Actually does more damage than my spell did. Getting used to the controls again. Like I mentioned before, I kind of just I binge played this when it came out, and then didn't really play it much after that. As you can tell, I'm rather used to using the whip.
Look how far the crops come.
Not quite ready yet. That's fine.
Got any targets for? Here's what I've turned. Good work. Here's your reward.
Okay. We got the Uni Rice Bowl.
Are you eating properly? So, what'll it be?
Alright. So we can upgrade a few of these things. Bronze is what you need to upgrade the head flail. Monster bird tears are what you need for the Gale Crawler.
I'll go with this.
That...
I'll go with this.
Increased rank of the bone toss increases the number you throw.
I'll go with this.
That is definitely one thing you can take advantage of in this game, is certain shards that increase the amount of projectiles it fires tends to do
I'll go
really,
with
really
this.
well, because you can kind of just shotgun it into the bosses for extra damage. There's one that fires arrows and increases the amount of arrows you fire. And that's what I use for the majority of the game.
I'll go with this.
I'm not going to bother with the head flail. Okay. And then for food, to make a pizza, we would need 4 pizza dough, which would require mocha oil and flour. I think we have to find the mocha oil. The flour we can purchase from a shop.
Oh, about the castle. It may not be much help, but let me tell you what I know. The castle itself was summoned from hell, demons and all. But the site it rests on is where the Alchemists Guild once lay. So you may find traces of our facilities intermingled with the rest.
Now that you mention it, I do remember seeing an area dedicated to the study of Eastern mysticism.
Yes, and another of us was researching how to create giant organisms. Anyway, just be mindful of the facility's existence. The knowledge may keep you out of harm's way while you explore.
All right. Thank you.
Johannes is going to have dialogue for us for every time we visit him in a little while. I'm not gonna front load it on you guys. I'm just gonna go with what we got. Anyway, I'm gonna check the shop one more time. I don't think it's gonna have what we need. Also, Critical Swing, I accidentally did the motion for it. But yeah, that's Critical Swing right there. It's kind of neat. Despite the whirlwind lingering, it doesn't actually seem to do any extra damage. At least no more than usual.
I have something new to offer you.
Okay.
What are you looking to buy?
So yeah, you can now purchase rice balls if we need them. Alright, yeah, it doesn't look like there's mocha oil here. You can also buy seeds if you're really just desperate to get seeds. That's kind of the gist of it. What's the circlet do? Not gonna worry about that for now. Yeah, so the Thorn Whip, getting that early kind of helps a little bit. There are shards that are passive that will increase your ability with certain weapon types.
Thank you. I'll be here if you need me.
If I get one of those, I may change my playstyle, but for right now I think I'll stick to what I am comfortable with and does the most damage, which right now is the Thorn Whip. I do know a place where you can get an 8-bit coin, and I might try one of the Great Swords again. I need to kill one of those bats, actually. I haven't actually killed a bat yet. Also, let's go ahead and switch from this to Bone Toss. So yeah, if I try this out... Just fires a bunch of bones in all directions. There you go. Also, any directional spells cannot be fired while jumping. Stone Mask. Those will definitely be selling as we go along. And that was our bullet capacity, so that increased the amount of bullets we can carry. I'll go into that other room in a bit. For right now, we're going to do this for now. Huh. Elf ears. +1 defense, +1 int, +1 bind. Wearable ears that resemble those of a certain Sylvan race. And then a cheap common rain was for that one. Defense 2, 1 bind. Alright, we'll actually replace the rusted ring. And as you can see, now we have pointed ears. HP rounds. There's not an easy way to look this up. HP rounds, hollow point rounds used in hunting, good for inflicting damage. So yeah, as you can see, it does 29 damage. It's pretty significant. Open that door permanently. This looks like you can drop down it, which for some reason you can't, but we'll deal with that later. There's an item up in the top right corner, but we can't reach it. But first, we're going to go left. You might have saw there was a doorway I ignored. Alright. And right now, this is one of those teleport nav point things that you see in Metrovanias. Right now we only have that one, so we can't really use it. Summon bat. Calls forth a bat. Alright, so we got the shard. So, for the most part, we've gotten nearly every shard that we can at this point. The only one I think we're missing is... we're missing Giant Rat and the floating Dullahan heads. The others we've gotten at this point. Actually, while we're here... no, I don't want to talk to him again. Bad. I've never actually used the bone toss before. As you can see, it's a little awkward to hit some of these things with the whip. So yeah, even like right there, I was right next to the lamp and I still couldn't hit it. By the way, you can cancel out of a swing as long as it hasn't fully completed. Sit chairs. And this is a knife, and one of the things you can do with knives is you can throw it. So that's the first knife you can get that can actually be thrown. But Thorn Whip is better, so I need to stick with Thorn Whip for now. Yeah, surprise gift. Hurl your weapon, equipped weapon at enemies. Balasard, Mangosh, Karnwin, and Benda Basir. I apologize for any mispronunciations. I'm going to do it often. And much like Castlevania, I'll walk to the castle. Or I can just drop underneath. Whee! Head down here for a bit. Much like in Symphony of Night, those glowing doors usually represent a new area. Forbidden underground waterway. Needless to say, we're not supposed to be here yet. And I got hit by a bat. So needless to say, we can't really progress until we have the ability to go underwater. So yeah, these things actually give you a lot of experience. So if you're able to kill them, it can give you a nice little the game boost. Also, if you jump, you can dip down a little bit. God, I'm just off. Come on. Oh, come on up. But yeah, needless to say, you're not going to be able to do anything here for a little while. You can kill that fish. Assuming it doesn't, you know, just wander away, which is the first time I've ever seen it do that. There we go. You can lure it over there and get some drops from it. Essentially, it's the shard it drops is a it's an ice spell, which I wouldn't mind getting, but I'll deal with that later. I don't really need it. There's going to be a giant rat over here. Or two, apparently. Sometimes the item will get stuck in the walls. It'll eventually give you the item. I found that to be the case. Anyway, down here, break it, and you can go in here and get an 8-bit coin. And then you can jump back out here. Unfortunately, it's one way, so you can't use it as a shortcut. Not that it's really much of a shortcut. That thing was just going crazy. So I try killing everything as I go, just simply because there's so many drops and things to take advantage of. Anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead and craft using the 8-bit coin. One of the things you can also do is you can disassemble items. And you can get materials from that. And disassembling any 8-bit coin item will produce an 8-bit coin.
Hi, Miriam. So, what'll it be?
So yeah, summon bat. Increase the number of projectiles casted at once.
I'll go with this. I'll go with this. I'll go with this. I'll go with this. I'll go with this.
So it does eventually cap.
I'll go with this.
Yep. So, rank 7. I think it usually caps at like 4. So, some of the things we can craft now. There's ambivalence. Blood grinder. A cruel and bloody sword of death, merciless upon flesh. Or we can do the Claw of Omoraki, which does its own stuff. Deathbringer. Fire and slashing with the big axe. I think I'm willing to try that out. I haven't really messed with axes before.
I'll go with this.
So yeah, if you look down here, the flame ring requires a regular ring and a ruby, so that's what you can do with the rings. And if you get a 16 Bitcoin, you can upgrade it even further. So that's kind of the gimmick. 16 Bitcoins you have to purchase from the shop, and they're very, very expensive.
So, Johannes, you and Dominique are old acquaintances.
Yes, she's risked much to help us, despite her position in the church. For example, she arranged for the galleon that took us here. And she gave us use of one of her homes. That was where you first woke up.
Why would she be so kind?
I don't know, but she seems interested in alchemy. She even helped me develop the rite that stopped the crystal from overtaking you. As far as I'm concerned, she took us in after the guild's destruction when no one else would, and has allowed me to continue in my research. We owe her a huge debt.
We do.
There we go. Here's our axe. Slower swings, but it's at least a change from the usual stuff I use. It's also about 5 points stronger than my whip. Unfortunately, I don't really know where the shard that specializes in axes would be at all. That's okay. This thing double hits. The fire itself seems to actually do a little extra damage, which is really nice. Also getting additional uses of Gale Crawler is nice. In fact, I can one-shot. It's really, really nice. Holy cow, the shards. Definitely like the drop rates happening here. Supposedly backstepping is possibly faster, but I'm not that concerned about those types of mechanics. You can pull the lever again to bring up the bridge if you need to. Entrance. I get used to that timing. Alright, so that's a Blood Grinder Knight. In normal difficulty you don't actually encounter them that soon, but it's there now. Scale Armor. Increases defense, reduces int and mind, but it does give me more defense. I'm gonna go ahead and take the more defense because I need all the hits I can take. But about the Blood Grinder, his shard is one of the most overpowered shards because it's essentially, his sword is kind of like a big drill, and it just constantly spins when you swing it. And essentially the spell is you extend your arm and you extend out that drill, and hold it down and expend mana the longer you hold it down. And while it's connecting to an enemy, it hits them a bajillion times. Wow, that was really good. Also, that's a demon. We killed one of two. I actually really like this axe. The multi-hitting's really nice. Cotton, bronze, iron. Oops. Skull. Another chest guard. We already have better. I believe we got the scale armor from the Drill Knight guy. See, there's stuff above us we can't really go to yet. Thousand Blossoms, Rapier, Stinger, and Kazikli. Riddle enemy with a blur thrust of too fast to count. Pretty much you just hit X a bunch of times. Yeah, and I believe the 8-bit coin weapons don't actually have special techniques. So just hit hard. Shouldn't be fighting those yet either, but it's actually kind of helpful because now I can actually complete that quest a little bit faster. In fact, let's do that now. Preferably without dying. That's 2. Okay. Gets us our Demon Dog Fang. Don't remember where the next save point's at, so I'm gonna go and see if I can find one first before I die. Oh wow, I did not expect that reach. Okay. So I got its shard, which is good. It actually took me a real long time originally to get that shard. And there's only one place you can fight them in the early tier. Come on. Oh yeah, the Wisp. We haven't actually gotten the shard from them either. It's not a big deal, just something to be aware of. Blood pool. In the middle there's actually a drop. We can't go through it yet until we clear the blood pool. While attempting to create my homunculus, I discovered a strange formation of white crystal growing on the subject. What is this? A sign? At long last that my studies are progressing? I must observe it diligently and learn all I can. The crystal I discovered appears to be multiplying. Slowly its corruption spreads through the cadaver I chose as a subject. It is a marvelous substance, neither entirely liquid nor a solid. As soon as I have enough, I shall begin experiments to discover its other properties. Alright, go to save point. Get that done. I'm gonna go up in this top area, and I'm gonna start making my way back, because the next room actually has plots, and I don't exactly want to do that plot right now. Summon Ghost. Call forth the ghost to set it upon foes. So those wisps drop Alkahest, which can be used for dismantling. It's actually pretty useful if you start dismantling. Alright, so I'm gonna show off this real quick. So yeah, 20 damage and it just hits multiple times. Spin toward enemies and transfer the momentum to your blade. Down, back, forward. Quarter circle back and then forward. And there's some kind of weird combos here and there. So yeah, that's what the drill does. I don't plan on using it that much because it's kind of ridiculous. I do kind of want to use other abilities.
Go!
But for now, I'll stick to it. So that lion guy. Okay, got what we need from that. That lion guy has a passive shard. It's actually pretty good to farm. Lion main. His passive shard is for longsword proficiency, which increases your attack speed and damage with longswords. Yeah, it's essentially uses mana per second for that drill attack, and simply just the DPS is just, it surpasses just pretty much everything that you could possibly be using. The only bad part is you can't use it while jumping, and you're kind of stuck in place when you're using it. Don't really need this mana, but I'm taking it anyway. I would have waited till I got in the next nav point, but since I would have to go and deal with plot first, I'm just going to go ahead and head back and turn in the quest, and then we'll call it a video. And completing the dog quest early is kind of helpful. If we do get the sword proficiency, I can always try to cash out the axe for something different. But more likely, this axe is actually pretty nice. Like I mentioned before, the only other time I've used the 8-bit coin was for the ice shoes, which are not as good. Because not only were they, you couldn't do the iframe techniques with it, you also couldn't. You also had ice physics on all your movement. Alright, good stuff. Also, we should be able to cash in our crop finally.
I finished the
We get 10 rice.
here to play.
Plant stewed potato.
Can you plant this?
Sure.
Get that started. Then we can turn in our quest.
Any target?
Here's what I've turned up on the monsters.
So yeah, we can actually turn in the Brigandine already. That's really good. Also get some hemp.
Good work.
Get hemp.
Have you learned any?
Here's what I've turned up on the monsters. Good work.
As far as I can tell, the only way you can get Brigandine is from this quest, and you kind of need to turn it in for another quest, so it's not something you generally will equip. But it has good stats. Really good stats, in fact. So yeah, he's getting that started. He's also the fastest farmer in the West.
Who are you?
So I should be able to turn in this Brigandine.
Here's what you are. This is
And we get 3 pizzas.
this right.
Next, wants bat wings.
Thank you.
And that'll get us 3 chocolate cakes. So let's turn in the pizza. Actually, we'll do this first. Actually, no, because he'll talk to me again. Don't want him talking to us. It's not now.
Did you?
Here's pizza.
That's holy. You're welcome.
Convex glasses. It's an accessory. Everything looks bigger. Defense 1, intelligence 1. Don't really need it.
Is there... Yes, I'll help.
Fried finger food. She says the oil gets all over your hands, and this will get us a katana.
I suppose I'll stick around and wait.
So, essentially fries. That's what she needs. Which, I do have potatoes growing, so I might be able to make it. Eventually. Why not? We'll go ahead and take care of this
Hi,
now.
what are we transmuting this
Ant
time?
shard. So, heretical grinder. Increasing the rank increases the size of it.
I'll go with this.
I'm gonna go ahead and upgrade it, just in
I'll
case
go
I
with
do
this.
actually need to use it.
I'll go with this.
It is hard mode after all. And we'll need steel to increase it even higher. Yeah, fried potatoes. We need flour, mocha oil, and potatoes, which we're not gonna have for a little while. What we can craft though is we can craft gunman scarf now if we want to increase our firing rate. And then we got the bat wings, which require cotton and small webbing.
I'll go with this.
It's an upgrade, but I don't really need it right now, so I'll go ahead and turn it in. And you can just, like I mentioned before, you can dismantle things, so it'll get you some variety of items. Some of them require a lot to dismantle, though. As you can see with the alchemist cost. Yeah, if I dismantle the Deathbringer, which costs 6 of them, I can get back the 8 Bitcoin. It also, yeah, it just costs those, which those are kind of expensive to get. It's either that or you have to farm Wisp, or Ghost, whatever they're called, which are annoying.
Oh, Miriam, you often bring up your promise to Jeeble, but only vaguely, never in detail.
Really?
Yes. Are you ever going to tell me the whole story?
Well, back then, the experiments left me feeling stripped of my humanity. The pain from the crystal was a constant reminder. At one point, I lost my will to live entirely. Jeeble and I got into a fight over some stupid thing. And I shouted, "How long are you going to pretend you're human? We're monsters now." But I'll never forget what he said to me. If we ask for the demon's power, then we're monsters. But if people force us to take it, then our power doesn't make us good or bad. Our choices do. That freedom of choice is proof we're human. It cheered me right up. I felt like a person again. And that was when we promised to stop each other. If we ever lost the ability to choose. Sorry, I know it's a long story.
No. I'm glad I asked about it, and that you were willing to tell me.
Of course.
Alright. Once your luck gets really, really high, it actually becomes a lot more common that those will drop like 100 gold coins and things like that. Alright, let's turn in the
How are you?
scarf here.
Here's what you are.
This is it?
Okay.
This is...
Right.
And next we need a Reva Baral, which we're not going to get for a while. I'll get us toy shoes.
Thank...
Essentially it's an upgraded mace. It's also a drop, but we're not going to be able to get that drop for a little while.
Are you eating? So, what'll it be?
Yeah, it's not even... Yeah, I don't even have the recipe for it.
You know, shard research has advanced during the 10 years you slept.
How so?
By using alchemy to add new matter to the shards, we can change their properties. They evolve. For example, an offensive shard's range may widen or reach targets further away.
Ah, so they'll become easier to use.
To put it more simply, yes. But I should make special mention of enchantment shards. They require a large number of materials to transmute, but they function similarly to skill shards. In other words, they work even when you don't have them equipped.
That is quite an advancement.
So, what he's talking about is passive shards. So for example, if we got that sword proficiency shard, which is a yellow shard, and we max it to 9 ranked, it will not only get stronger, but it will produce a white shard equivalent that will always be active. So even if you unequip it, it will still provide you some bonus. Also, if you have the yellow shard equipped, the white shard adds to it. So yeah, maxing out proficiencies is really, really useful, though it does kind of bottleneck you into a certain playstyle for a while. Anyway, real quick. So as you can see, it's a little bit bigger now. And that is that for now. I am the Depressed Eeyore. Let's try that again. I am the Depressed Eeyore, and this was Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. See you guys next time.